Sean Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Well, I did it for some people. There you go. There's the intro. I've gotten a bunch of requests and emails and tweets about bring back the intro once in a while. So I tried to do it there. My voice still isn't 100% with all the allergies and everything. A little housekeeping work here. We are going to be doing another live stream, not in the next week or so. We've gotten a lot of requests to do another one. We will be doing another one. Probably, maybe we'll do one once a month, but we'll kind of figure it out when we get a little bit later into the week. I'll let everyone know the dates a little bit sooner than I did the last one. So, but also a lot of people I think everyone has already gotten their Super Bowl rings, and all the other packages are still on their way. So please be patient. The mail is extremely and painfully slow. But let's talk about the New York Football Giants. First things first, Big Ben. He's not coming to the Giants. Pittsburgh, of course, is looking like they're going to part ways with the 38-year-old quarterback, but he's not coming to the Giants. That's my chair squeaking. I just like saying that because you know it had to be coming soon. I haven't checked the Twitter sphere or anything else, but you know you're going to have some people out there going, well, Big Ben should come to the Giants. No, he's not coming to the Giants. Two things that do scare me, though. He could potentially end up in a place like Dallas. Because Dallas, of course, still hasn't signed Dak. They could potentially franchise tag him. He's still coming back from the injury. He could sit out the season. The Lord knows. But Dallas would be a logical landing spot for Big Ben, excuse me. If you think about it. Especially if Dallas thinks they can improve their defense. They can fix their defense. They have the offensive pieces in place. I don't know if Andy Dalton's coming back. I don't know if they want Andy Dalton coming back. But he could be a logical choice in Dallas. So, we may, we still may see Big Ben in the NFC East. So you can never say never. But let's get into our old buddy Evan Engram. Evan came here with so much hope, with so much hype that, he was going to be the guy that was going to be the transcendental player for the New York Giants at the tight end position. I liked Evan coming out of college. I didn't like him being drafted by the Giants, to be 100% honest, because I always felt that he was going to be more of a H-back, more, he's a quasi tight end / receiver / slot guy. And I like the idea of moving him around, but we really needed a player that was more proficient at the position itself. And it wasn't Evan Engram. And honestly, his career, has been somewhat, marred with injuries and a little bit pedestrian. Last year, he did play in 16 games. He started 14 of them, made the Pro Bowl. It tells you how bad the tight end position is right now. 654 yards, 10.4 yards a catch, only one touchdown. What gets me about him is his catch percentage. He was targeted 109 times, only caught 63 balls, for a 57.8% catch percentage. His highest catch percentage was in the second year, which was at 70% when he only played in 11 games. But he's never really fulfilled that promise. And of course, we picked up the fifth-year option on him, like we figured we would last year. And he's remained relatively healthy until the last game of the season. So you would have thought last year that his trade value was at its highest. And right now, that's the issue with the Giants. What can they do? They try to keep him for year 5 and hope he morphs into the tight end they've always wanted? Or do you just dump him now and see what happens? Because he's on a manageable contract. He technically has still the skills. He's only 26. I think, though, there's the old adjective always, he just needs a change of scenery. Well, maybe he does just need a change of scenery. Maybe he just needs to go someplace else and start fresh. The only problem right now is his trade value is not that high. People have seen the film on him. People have seen the drops. Organizations are going to see him as a reclamation project. Someone that they're going to bring in and work with, and they're going to tap that hidden talent. Like I've made the analogy before. It's like the Knicks. The Knicks in basketball always used to try to bring in these former first-round draft choices. They were going to bring them in, and they were going to tap that hidden talent. They were going to turn them into the players that they should have been when they were taken 6th overall. It never pans out. Football, it's a little bit different. You have more of a lineage or a history of players going to other teams and turning their career around. So maybe Evan Engram can do that. But what now is the value of Evan Engram? Where can he go? And I was thinking about it, and I was sitting there going, because I love doing it right now, because right now I'm doing, and I have my two fingers on the side of my temple looking studious with my glasses in my mouth. But that's just so everyone can see the visualization of it. And I thought there's two teams I can think of right off the bat that really could use a tight end. The first team that I think would be looking for a bargain tight end is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens need another pass-catching tight end to go with Mark Andrews. They signed the ex-Giant again, the blocking journeyman Eric Tomlinson. So they really need to utilize that position. Because honestly, Lamar Jackson is going to be better going to his, with the short passing game, staying, keeping him on the move. And a guy like Evan Engram can play multiple positions for the Ravens. He can spell Mark Andrews. He could add that flexibility, putting him in the slot, putting him in the outside. And he's just a guy that I think would fit well with Lamar because, like I said, Lamar, his biggest deficiency is always going to be his completion percentage. I remember Lamar going back to Louisville. I'm a Big East guy. Well, it's not a Big East anymore, but I don't think he was. But I just, he's always going to have that issue. I wanted the Giants to draft him, but you had to know what you were getting. You were going to get a player who's going to be electric, who is going to be able to create for himself, but will still have a problem at times hitting a guy 5 yards away. So the good news is you hit Evan Engram 5 yards away, even if it's a bad pass, he's probably going to drop it anyways. But seriously, folks. But he would be a good fit in Baltimore. But what would we want back from Baltimore? I don't want any picks. I don't. There's one player on the Ravens that I would really be interested in, and that's Jalen Ferguson. He's the big defensive end, 6'5", 275 pounds out of Louisiana Tech. He's had an interesting career in Baltimore since they took him in the third round in the 2019 draft. He was in the rotation. He was in the defensive rotation most of this year. He kind of fell out of the rotation towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. He was on, of course, the COVID list. He played in 14 games, started 1. Same thing with last year's rookie season. He played in 14 games, started 9. He's a little bit older. He came into the leagues at 24. He's 25. He'll be 26 this season. He's a guy that did he get the full extent of the opportunity that he should have been given in Baltimore? No, because the Baltimore has got a fantastic defensive line. They got 4 great starters. Right now, he is the only defensive end under contract. He's also listed as a linebacker, so he can kind of play that quasi Jason Pierre-Paul thing, because Jason Pierre-Paul a lot of times, especially towards the end of his career, had his hand in the dirt, and then he's also roamed around in the linebacker position and dropped into coverage. But he is a guy that I think can get to the quarterback. He is a guy that I think if he blitzes and he's put in the right position and he's given the opportunity to play, he can be a difference maker for the Giants defense. I really do. And honestly, I don't think that the Ravens would have an issue doing a straight up trade for Jalen Ferguson for Evan Engram. And I think that would be a fair talent in return. I'm never one of these guys that, that you're like, well, I like to look at trades realistically. I'm not the guy that says, we're going to trade 4 7th round picks and get Lamar Jackson. No, I think this would be a fair trade on both sides. It would give the Ravens, like I said, that second tight end option. It would give Lamar Jackson another target. It would allow Jalen to get into another organization and have the ability to come in and show another team what he can possibly do. Now, Baltimore's kind of fallen out of love with him a little bit because in his rookie season, he played in 51% of the snap. He played in 51% of the defensive snaps for over almost 500 snaps. Last year, that percentage dropped down to 28. So statistically, even though his snap count dropped, his statistics really didn't drop. if you look at it, he had 31 tackles and 2.5 sacks in 19. He had 2 sacks and 30 tackles in 2020. I think it would, like I said, I think it would fill the bill for both teams, and I think it would give both guys a fresh start. The other team that I would trade Evan Engram to, and it's an easy trade, it's a simple trade, is going to be the New England Patriots. Why? New England needs a tight end. New England needs a tight end bad. They need a tight end in the worst way. And the best thing is they have multiple compensatory picks. They have an additional third rounder for Brady. They have their own fourth, and they have 2 additional compensatory picks, 4th rounders. One for the Collins deal, obviously when Collins left, and one with Van Noy. So you have, in the third, you have 4 picks in the 3rd and 4th round. I would easily take a 4th round pick for Evan Engram. I think that would be a steal if we could take one of their 4th round picks. And if they want to throw in a late round pick from another year, like maybe a 7th, I wouldn't mind that. That wouldn't bother me. But I think Belichick would easily trade a 4th for Evan Engram, and I think that's a fair deal for a guy that's going to be on a 1-year rental. Just 2 deals that I think would work out for 2 separate teams and the New York Giants for Evan Engram. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could if you subscribe, if you could ring that bell, I think you know what that means. That'd be awesome.